The vast expanse of universe trembles with a deafening, otherworldly shriek. Stars flicker, galaxies quake, and a storm of cosmic energy rages in every direction. What sound is this? A cry that pierces eternity, echoing through realms mortal and divine. A colossal figure emerges, a hybrid beast, part eagle, part lion, its wings crackling with lightning, its roar splitting the heavens. Opposite stands Narsimha, a fierce avatar of Vishnu, his lion face seething with wrath, his celestial aura blazing like 1,000 suns. Who dares to disturb my rage? Who calls upon this fury? From the swirling storm emerges Lord Shiva, calm yet fierce. Vishnu, my friend, this fury must be tamed, not fueled. The universe cracks under your roar. You call the specification, Shiva? You come before me with arms ready for battle, not peace. The storm intensifies as the hybrid beast lets out another blood-curdling shriek, its wings slicing through clouds of cosmic dust. Sometimes peace cannot be whispered, it must be fought for. I will not let your wrath consume creation. Shiva raises his Trishul and Narsimha's claws glow with celestial fire. The two gods charge at each other, their clash sending shock waves across the cosmos. When gods clash, creation trembles. But is this a battle of anger or of love? As the dust settles, a faint glow emerges from the collision, an aura of balance, a meeting point of destruction and preservation. Every realm was ecstatic at the fall of Hiranyakashipu. Gods were rejoicing, men were reveling. Even the five elements were celebrating, when suddenly everyone froze and then began huddling, pointing, listening to the roars that were rattling to the very bones of Brahmand. Moments ago, that sound had filled them with joy. Now it was sending a chill down their core. Vishnu had slain one crisis but spawned another, a far more menacing one. Instead of reverting to his original form, the god now seemed locked in his Narsimha state, locked in that fury that had wrenched the demon's entrails out. The brutal killing appeared to have inflamed the lion avatar, for it was pacing fiercely through Brahmand, threatening to rip everything apart. The cosmic spine was shivering, wondering if those claws would tear it to shreds too. Brahma immediately asked Prahlad to pray to Vishnu. The boy made every attempt, but it was fruitless. The creator turned to Shiva. Sri Hari calmed your Rudra Tandava. Now it's your turn to restrain him. The avatar is enraged with Rajas Guna since it has tasted Hiranyakashipu's blood, Shiva explained. That is generating its rage. If we do not demolish this body, Sri Hari would remain forever trapped in this violent form. The destroyer pulled out his hair and produced Veerbhadra. Narsimha is roaming wildly through the universe, pacify it. Veerbhadra found the avatar snarling by the stars, trying to pluck them out one by one. He folded his hands. Calm down, Lord. You are the preserver supreme, who has been taking avatars for the sake of dharma. Your purpose as Narsimha has been accomplished. This avatar is just a mask. Do not allow it to melt into your face. Do not bury your soul beneath this savage body. Cast it off and return to your benevolent self. But Narsimha scratched the sky. It pounced at Veerbhadra, who instantly surrendered, for he knew that he could not combat Vishnu. As he began to retreat, he paused. Something was happening. The sun was getting obscured. The moon was no longer visible. The stars were fading away. The galaxies were being eclipsed. Something was manifesting before him. Wings of enormous proportions were stretching across the firmament. Their plumes were rustling louder than the roars of Narsimha, gleaming brighter than all the nakshatras. Veerbhadra fell to his knees. He was looking at Mahadeva, but not as he had always seen him, not as he had always known him. The destroyer too had assumed an avatar, a glorious hybrid form like Narsimha. One half was a lion with 8 legs, other half was a golden bird with 1,000 arms. Its crest was flaring, its eyes were glinting, its claws were piercing. Shiva had become shut up. Finding a new being looming above it, Narsimha leapt to slash his feathers, to poke its eyes, to gash its beak. But the more the lion leapt, the more the bird rose, hovering right above, always out of reach. Higher, higher, higher and higher. Then Sharab swooped. Diving down, it grasped Narsimha in its talons and soared up again. Higher, higher, higher and higher. Ascending every realm, passing every dimension, every sphere possible, higher, higher, higher and higher. Rising above everything in Brahmand, Sharav let go of Narsimha. The cosmos washed as it fell towards the earth, plunging faster and faster like a giant meteor. As it crashed, Narsimha snapped out of its rage. Sharav proceeded to decapitate it. Then it skinned the lion's body and released everything that lay within. Thus was Vishnu liberated from his own avatar.